Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Florida.
On a very pleasant Sunday in Miami, the Marlins' home schedule comes to a close, and the ball club is hot. Miami has the best record in baseball since the 31st of August, and they've shown it in this series. They've won the first two against the Braves, 4 straight overall. And this afternoon, Miami will try to send the fans home happy with a win. Hi, everybody. Rich Waltz, along with Tommy Hutton. Welcome to Miami. This has been fun to watch. It's a young team that's been through so much adversity this year. To finally get it together and head in an upward trend has been nice.
It's almost as if, Rich, all the adversity the first 5 months of the season, a little bit of a payoff, a little bit of good times for this ball club.
And in this winning streak, you've got really good pitching starters, really good bullpen, outstanding defense, timely hitting, but you need power. And the guy that supplied that is Justin Bour.
How about Justin Bour on this homestand? Has homered 3 times. He's actually homered 3 of his last 4 games. Just the last 2 games on a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, on a changeup. He's hitting a little bit of everything. So it's great to see Justin Bour. When you look at the rookies amongst National League rookies, there he is, 21 home runs, 3rd on that list.
One of his early moments, best early moments for Bour before he was in the lineup and before he was hitting home runs, was breaking up the no-hitter with 2 outs in the 9th of Shelby Miller on this field. Ironically, that's the last time Miller has won a game.
Yeah, that's the amazing part of the year of Shelby Miller, who went on and pitched a 2-hit shutout. At the time, he was 5-1, and his last win was during that game. But it was broken up, the no-hitter, in the 9th inning by Justin Bour. And as Rich mentioned, 2 men were out, but the big guy was able to get a base hit. His last 23 starts, he's gone 0-15 with a 365 earned run average.
On the other side, it's Tom Kohler, a workhorse for the Marlins ever since he got to the big leagues. He's put together a really nice September.
He has. He's won 10 games for the 2nd straight year. The month of September, 2-1, and an earned run average of 2.88.
So there you go. It's Tom Kohler. It's Shelby Miller. It's a hot Marlins team. A win also secures 3rd place in the East. So a lot to look forward to, and some memories from this home season in 2015. for that man. D. Gordon's got a lot of things in the next week to shoot for. We shoot for center field, where we find Craig Minervini and Jeff Conine. Guys?
All right, Rich, thank you very much. Hard to believe it's closing day. It seems like it takes forever to get there, and then all of a sudden it speeds up the last few weeks, but we're here. The Marlins have made, in a tough season, and we understand that for everybody around the ball club, fans, they've made some great moments here. They've gotten to 500 at home somehow. And we're going to look at two of our favorite moments of the season right here at Marlins Park.
Yeah, talk about speeding it up. Well, the Marlins got the best record in the major leagues the last month of September here, so that helps things along,
yes,
so to
speak. I think that's a good point.
My favorite moment of the year was Jose Fernandez's comeback after a 14-month rehab of Tommy John surgery. He comes back out here, hyped up as you wouldn't believe. Of course, what do you think? 97, 98 miles an hour off the bat. Unbelievable moment for him. 6 innings pitched on the day, 3 runs, 6 Ks, ends up getting the victory. And of course, how about this? Put an exclamation point on the comeback with a bomb. Left field goes deep. Family and friends here to witness that, and hugs and happiness all around.
That wait was 14 months. At times it seemed like 14 years. And for Jose Fernandez to get back, and not only that, to be dominant, he had the one little issue with the elbow strain, but to come back undefeated and pitch like he did makes you feel great going into 2016. Will he be there right at the start of April?
He is a legitimate ace, one of the few in Major League Baseball. He's your guy.
I'm going to go the day before, though, to July 1st. And that was the day the Marlins were trailing. And Justin Bour, in the 9th inning, in a 3-run homer. It was the first time in 43 games they won a game when trailing after 8 innings. A 3-run shot turned a 5-3 deficit into a 6-5 walk-off win. And I think Jeff made this point in the pregame. It may have been the date, if you want to look at one for the arrival of one Justin Bour. It might have been that day.
Yeah, and he's finished up the season amazingly strong. 7 home runs and 22 RBIs. Almost a 300 average this month, saying, hey, exclamation point, I want to be here next year at first base for the Fish.
Great stuff here at Marlins Park. We got some good news, too. There's one more day to make some memories here in 2015. If the Marlins can finish off this last homestand in big fashion. They'll take on the Braves next on Fox Sports Florida.
Brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. By Vico Painting Contractors. For top quality work, excellent customer satisfaction, visit VicoPainting.com. By Checkers, epic meals, epic deals. And by AutoNation. Save on over 70,000 vehicles now. Visit us online, AutoNation.com. Final home game of 2015 for the Fish, and a chance to sweep the Braves and nail down third place in the East. Atlanta's lineup is brought to you by J.M. Lexus. Nick Markakis in right. Hector Olivera gets a start at third. Freddie Freeman at first. A.J. Przinsky back in the lineup and back in the cleanup spot. The veteran Nick Swisher back out in left. Jace Peterson, the youngster, at second. Andrelton Simmons at short. Michael Bourne's out in center, and Shelby Miller will hit ninth.
It's a ball club, Rich, that Tom Kohler has faced 4 times this year, 3 of those as a starter. Good earned run average against the Braves this season. A 1-2 record, but an ERA just a little over 3. Trying to pick up win number 11 today.
This has been a series where the bullpens have been heavily used on both sides. And so for Kohler and Miller, one of the tasks is get as deep as you can go. Pinch Penny brought you that first pitch. It's a fastball that misses to the heavily bearded Nick Markakis. Hector Olivera and Freddie Freeman will follow. Markakis slices one to left. That's a base hit. Markakis has done a lot of that this year against the Marlins. Remember on opening night, he had the decisive hit to beat the Fish.
Take a look at the defense behind Tom Kohler, brought to you by BMW. Dietrich, Yelich, Ozuna. The defense has been spectacular on this homestand. Prado, Rojas, D. Gordon, Justin Bour around the infield. JT Real Muto behind the plate.
And here is Olivera, one of the more mysterious players in all of baseball, if that's possible. If you think about how well scrutinized, publicized, and covered by all forms of media major league players are, this guy has some mystery to him.
Not a Puig, not a Cespedes.
No, because he was out for a while with an injury, did not play for a year in Cuba, then signed that big contract with the Dodgers, and to a lot of people's surprise was included in the trade, that big 3-team trade with the Marlins, the Braves, and the Dodgers, and he ends up a Brave with the Dodgers picking up a lot of his $63 million signing bonus. So Atlanta feels like they've got a bat. Everybody around baseball, though, hasn't seen much of him. So I think moving forward for the Braves, he's a big piece if he is what they hope he is. Bouncer to third. Nice big hop. Gordon's turn off the feed from Prado, and that's a double play. Gold Glove defense in Miami's infield all season long.
Always say it starts with a good pitch. Tom Kohler with that nice curveball drops it in and gets Olivera to roll over on it. There's the chopper once it gets in the hands of Martin Prado. Watch how quickly he gets it to D. Gordon. Just like that, 2 quick outs.
Freddie Freeman now for the Braves. Freeman, that big uppercut swing and a miss. Active series for Freeman. A homer, 2 RBIs in game 1. Walked twice yesterday, and Kohler's fastball right in on the belt, and it's a ball and a strike. Marlins looking to win 5 in a row for just the 2nd time this season.
And it would be a nice win to finish the season over 500 at home.
And the Marlins have had to come a long way to get to 500 at home. Dan Jennings. The 1-2. Tom Kohler. A fastball, a strikeout of Freeman, and the Marlins come to hit in the bottom of the 1st. Marlins and Braves, bottom one. Jan Lexus with Miami's lineup. Gordon in the leadoff spot. Christian Yelich is hot. Martin Prado is hot. Justin Bour is smoking hot. Marcell Ozuna is in right. Derek Dietrich, JT Realmuto, Miguel Rojas, who's played so well in the absence of Adeiny Echeverria, and Tom Kohler is slotted ninth.
We have talked, Rich, so much about the season of Shelby Miller. Just an incredible run of poor luck. Record of 5-16, but an ERA and even 3. But this year against the Marlins, he's 2-2. He's had 5 starts against the Fish this year, and an ERA of 1.16.
Well, that's amazing. This is start number 32, and for him, start number 6 against Miami. Gordon takes out, and the count is 1-0. And of course, D. Gordon, a lot to play for here. Still trailing in the batting race, trying to catch Bryce Harper. Bangs one into center field. That's a base hit.
Hit number 195 for D. Gordon.
So a good start for Gordon. Also in stolen bases, he is 3 away from Billy Hamilton, who leads the National League. And that total's not going to increase because Hamilton is out for the rest of the year with an injury. So Gordon is 4 stolen bases away from winning a stolen base crown. He's at first. There's your diameter. The Nationals start at 135, so Harper's sitting at 339. D is 6 points back. He's running on the first pitch. Yelich swings and hits a fly ball foul and into the seats.
Straight steal, but foul ball. Pretty good pitch for Yelich to take a cut at. Here's the defense for the Braves in this game this afternoon, brought to you by BMW. Nick Swisher, Michael Bourne, and Nick Markakis in that outfield. Oliveira, Simmons, and Peterson. Jace Peterson, the second baseman. Freddie Freeman at first, and A.J. Pierzynski behind the plate.
Yelich 4 hits in this series, as his average sitting at 292. Gordon away from first. Miller quick to the plate, and he misses up and out. Juan Pierre set the team record with 221 hits back in the season of 2004.
Wow, that's a lot of hits.
And Gordon, as you pointed out, 195 now. Hanley Ramirez had 212 in 07.
That was his batting title season.
Yeah, Pierre had 204 in 03. Miggy 198, Hanley 197, and so Gordon right now tied for 6th in Marlins history as far as hits in a season. He's running again. The pitch is taken, a ball. The throw to second. He's in there with a stolen base. Number 55 for D. Gordon.
Pierzynski had a pretty good shot too. The pitch was taken. It was up. His throw was pretty good. But you know what? All of that didn't work because of the speed and jump of D. Gordon.
Special added bonus. It was a ball, and Yelich gets a 2-1 pitch here. Another fastball, and he fouls it out of play.
So with those numbers you were talking about, Rich, D. Gordon has the opportunity to be just the 3rd Marlin to have a 200-hit season.
You're right. Pierre did it twice. Hanley did it once. Breaking ball, trying to come in the back door. And they count full now at 3-2. There's your list of hits in a season in Marlins history. Boy, JP just 03, 04, 05. 3 terrific years. Yelich. And Simmons short hops and gets the out. Yelich hit it on the button. A little bad luck there as we scout Shelby Miller.
Yeah, we've scouted him numerous times. He attacks hitters. He goes right after good two-seam fastballs, real easy delivery, and he's had the bad luck season of all seasons. In the 23 starts that he's had where he's not gotten a win, where he's gone 0-15, while he's been in the game, the Braves have scored 22 runs.
Prado. Simmons vacuums it up and gets the out. Gordon survives at third base for a Justin Bour at bat.
Now, one more note on D. Gordon and the comparisons to Juan Pierre. You saw Miguel Cabrera on that list. Well, he's going to walk a few times, which he did. D. Gordon and JP, very similar. Their on-base percentage is because they're getting hits, not because they're going to draw a lot of walks.
And Gordon's on-base percentage is .357. His batting average at .333. Here's Bour now, and boy, what a nice homestand, nice series he's had. He's banged 3 home runs on the homestand. A couple here against the Braves, one each night of this 3-game set. Bour's slugging percentage continues to climb at .474. 21 homers, 17 driven in, or excuse me, 17 doubles, 68 driven in. That's an impressive number too. 1-1. And the significance of that for Bour, and you touched upon it yesterday, Tommy, and he's done that without a full season's worth of at-bats. Bour, in terms of games, this is 123, but in terms of at-bats, this is only 385.
For Justin Bour, it's his 95th start. Came up with an interesting comparison. Everybody's talked about the young shortstop with Houston, who has started 92 games, 93 today. Carlos Correa. Carlos Correa, similar amount of at-bats, has 21 home runs, 61 RBIs. Justin Bour, 21, 68. Different players, and I'm certainly not saying Justin Bour is in the same category as a Carlos Correa, who's 20, 21 years old and a shortstop.
But I think your point is if the
Marlins, they're both rookies,
right? And if the Marlins had 90 wins and were battling the Mets for the division title, or in there for the wild card, then a guy like Justin Bour would be a little more well known across baseball. Bour flips it foul, but I think for Bour, he's had to thrive on that. He was a guy that the Cubs essentially gave up on. The Marlins got him in the minor league Rule 5 draft, and so with, I'm sure, a chip on his shoulder, he's got a chance to play here in the big leagues. And man, has he taken advantage of the opportunity. Good battle here. 1-2 coming. Fastball crushed. Right field and deep. I mean deep. And gone. Oh my goodness. He did it again. Justin Bour. Get in my belly.
This is great. How about 4 home runs over his last 5 games?
Wow. The September run for Bour now has 8 home runs.
11 of the 22 home runs have given the Marlins a lead as well.
And now the Braves want to look at it to see if it was fair or foul. It is reviewable. There's the pitch.
High fastball. Almost out of the zone. You saw Pierzynski reaching for it.
It's a great shot of Bour watching it himself. We'll look for as many angles as we can find. And the Braves are going to challenge it right out of the chute. So Tom Hallion, who's the crew chief, has one of the headsets on. Dan Bellino is the home plate umpire. It's actually a crew chief review. Braves requested, and the crew chief granted. Now, if the crew chief said no, the Braves could still challenge, but this a crew chief review.
Well, the two umpires with the best view, home plate umpire Dan Bellino and first base umpire Bruce Dreckman.
There's the baseball. Which side of the pole does it cross? Oh, wow.
It's a home run.
It's been called a home run. Watch the ball. That's a real tight one. Bohr will take it. Man, did he earn it. And the call is confirmed. So that means there is evidence, strong evidence to confirm it. It's not a call stands. New York says home run. We see it clearly. Ozuna, fastball in on his hands. A little pop-up. Freeman is back there, and he makes the catch. But Miami is on the board. It never gets old, does it? And it's happened a lot in September. Justin Bohr with a 2-run mammoth home run. Has more cameras than we do. We have the Fox Sports Florida cameras, the Fox Sports South cameras. Major League Baseball also has a few other cameras installed in every ballpark that's available to them. Watch this ball and see if you can discern. Does it hit the pole and drop right there and go straight down?
You and I are kind of in agreement. It hits that large yellow Miccosukee pole.
Well, you know what? I'm not sure, though.
I guess we're not in agreement then.
No, we're not. I think it may hit the foul pole and go down. That one fouled back. But right now, the truck, we are doing a CSI Marlins Park, so hopefully we'll have a few more views with some enlarged shots, slow motion, and all of that.
Well, when you hit them that high, that hard, and that far, as Justin Bohr did, 8 home runs now in the month of September.
Pretty impressive stuff. Here is Pierzynski. And he taps it foul. So Tom Kohler has got himself a 2-0 lead. Nick Swisher, Jace Peterson also coming up for the Braves. Pure numbers wise, Pierzynski maybe the Braves' best against Kohler. He's 6 for 12 with 2 home runs. And he flips that one down the left field line. It's going to get in there for a hit. Over for it, picking it up is Dietrich. That, in a nutshell, is typical A.J. Pierzynski, isn't it? He's such a resourceful hitter.
Never a big strikeout guy. Is going to make contact. If he gets a pitch he can pull, he'll do that. If he gets a pitch such as that last one, he'll do what he just did. Flip it into left field. 23 doubles now for Pierzynski.
Now Swisher. Swisher getting the start in left field for the second game in a row. He was out there last night. Was 0 for 2 with a walk. Swisher to left. Dietrich in, now over, and he makes a running catch. Save the date for the 2016 Marlins winter warm-up. Marlins Park on Saturday, February 20th. Single game tickets for the season. Select your seats. Season ticket mini plans will be available. Autographs from Marlins players. Games, activities for the entire family. And it's winter warm-up on February 20th. Go to marlins.com for more info. Bunt attempt, Peterson, it's a good one, and Kohler has to pick it up and essentially eat the baseball. Peterson with good speed. And the Braves now with runners at the corners and just the one out.
Gives Peterson a 5-game hitting streak. The Braves just seem to like Jace Peterson as their second baseman. Looking ahead, he's done a nice job this year.
Andrelton Simmons now. Simmons a couple hits in this series, including an infield hit last night on a 1-for-4 night. Miami 6-2 winner last night. Justin Nicolino was splendid. 7 innings, just a run. And the Marlins got the obligatory 2-run homer by Justin Bour to start in the first. Bour a 3-run homer on Friday night in the first inning, a 2-run homer last night in the first. Obviously both Marlin wins, and then here another 2-run shot. Michael Bourne on deck. Kohler looking for a ground ball. He misses out with a breaking ball.
One thing early on, Tom Kohler shown a good curveball, and that's always a good sign for him.
Infield back. And pitch misses away. Even Prado at third. Fairly deep. Lost him. So a walk to Simmons, and now here comes Bourne, who's got 4 hits in the series.
Simmons is a tough guy to walk. He doesn't strike out much. He doesn't walk much. This is certainly the key hitter with the pitcher on deck.
Talked about Nick Swisher the other night, wondering how much is left in his tank. I think the same could be said for Michael Bourne. At one time, a speedy center fielder. He's still a center fielder. He still has some speed, but hitting has been a struggle for him this year. And as you pointed out, he's kind of like D. Gordon in that to get on base as a leadoff man, he needs to hit 300, 310 to be up in that 340, 350 on base. He's at 291 right now. Up the middle, he scorches one into center, and that'll chase home a couple of runs. Brzezinski and Peterson score, and the Braves answer and tie it at 2.
Yeah, Michael Bourne was hitting just in the 240s in his 95 games with Cleveland before coming to the Braves. That's what he does best right there. Just try to hit the ball on the ground hard and found that hole up the middle.
Shelby Miller now, and you would expect with 1 out, he's going to try to push runners up a base. Foul ball. Poor, a little nifty footwork there. It was initially foul, but not, I mean, it wasn't completely. So he had to wait for a few more revolutions of the ball before he got it.
And right now, Rich, Shelby Miller is giddy. His team has gotten him 2 runs.
That just hasn't happened this year. Ten sacrifice bunts. Worst run support in the National League.
It's not even close.
It's about a full run difference between Andrew Kashner and Shelby Miller, who is in the basement, but on the top of that list. That's a nice bunt for bare hands and gets the out. Sacrifice in order. Now you got Markakis with a chance to give Atlanta the lead.
This is where all of a sudden Nick Markakis is a different type leadoff guy. We talked about him. He's not a base stealer, but he's always been a good on-base percentage guy. And in his career, most of it with the Orioles, drove in a lot of runs. So all of a sudden you have a run producer hitting in this spot, the leadoff spot. 176 hits for Markakis this year.
He's just a couple of ticks below 300 on the season. His on-base percentage at 372. Dan Jennings, proud of the Marlins right now, the nice September run they've had. Marlins are going to put Markakis on and pitch to Oliveira.
Not a bad play right there. He had a tough lefty.
Probably didn't happen to Oliveira much in Cuba.
But now it also, as we've talked about, it puts a little more on Tom Kohler to throw strikes to Oliveira.
.93-mile-an-hour fastball,
and threw that fastball by Oliveira.
Missed with the breaking ball. Kohler faced just 3 hitters in the first. But a double by Pierzynski. The bunt hit by Peterson was big. And of course, Bourne chasing home 2 with a single. And now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nice ceremony before the ball game. The Marlins players giving their jerseys off their backs to season ticket holders. It's always fun to see. High fastball, and he gets the strikeout. And so Kohler limits the damage to the 2 runs. The Braves have tied it. It's 2-2.
Presentado en español vía SAP por West Kendall Toyota.
2-2 ball game. Bottom 2. Derek Dietrich stepping in against Shelby Miller. JT Realmuto, Miguel Rojas also scheduled to appear here in the bottom of the 2nd in Miami. The Braves and the Marlins finishing off Miami's home schedule. Big curveball from Miller for a strike. Dietrich 3 hits, including a couple doubles first 2 games of the series.
Yeah, the reason I said the 2 runs the Braves have gotten Miller got him excited. He's had 14 starts this year where he's given up none or 1 earned run. So I mean, it's just amazing the year he's had, and from all account he has held up and handled it extremely well.
Tommy, we were able to discern
CSI
Marlins Park. The ruling from the command center was the ball hit the foul pole and then came down, and we'll try to get you a look.
Right there.
It changes directions and then it drops.
Yeah. So right there.
Realmuto fastball in. Now you have to, if you're going to conduct CSI Marlins Park, you need an investigative reporter.
And eyewitnesses.
So for both of those, we turn to Craig Minervini. Craig?
Well, thank you. It's our eyewitness report. We're going to ask the group here because they have the best view. We're right next to the pole. How many people here think it hit the Miccosukee pole? Raise your hand. No, wait a minute. You thought it hit the Miccosukee?
Miccosukee. I saw it hit the Miccosukee and ricochet back to the field.
All right, but now don't scream unless you agree with this. How many people think it hit the foul pole over here? All right, wait, you tell me.
Definitely foul pole. From the 4th tier down, foul pole, all the way.
No way. All right, so foul pole I think is going to win by consensus. We got another Nicaraguan group in here. They're just getting it. They're rooting for anything. How many people think it was a foul ball? See what I'm saying? You get the idea? It hit the foul pole. That's what they're saying.
Oh, all right. Well, that's good. So, foul pole it is. A group of Nicaraguan fans. Now, I wonder if they know that The greatest Nicaraguan player of all time is in the Marlins radio booth right now, El Presidente, Dennis Martinez.
Oh, they would cheer for that, for sure.
Real Muto fouls it back to the screen.
You know what they say, though, in court, eyewitness testimony is always questionable.
Well, look, the highest court there is in baseball, the command center, said foul pole. So that's a home run by Justin Bour off that foul pole.
That's all we need to know. Number 22.
Real Muto taps out, and here comes Miguel Rojas.
Justin Bour's 4 for 6 now off Shelby Miller. And remember, we talked about it. One of those hits, a big one to break up the no-hitter. And there's Dennis Martinez.
Speaking of no-hitters, how about perfect game? The great call by Dave Van Horn, the Hall of Fame broadcaster on the right. El Presidente, El Perfecto.
At Dodger Stadium.
Here now is Rojas. 4 hits, 5 at-bats in the series. And filling in for Danny Echeverria, he's been brilliant in the fields and really good at the plate. He has a little discussion with Dan Bellino on that, the second pitch of the at-bat. That one way outside. It's 2-1. Pitch number 2 lived right at the knees, right at the bottom of the knees, and had the plate. So it was 2-1 now. Chopper over the middle. Peterson gets to it, scoops it, and gets the out. And Miami done in order here in the second. 2-2. Ports, proud to team up with Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Boys and Girls Clubs help young people reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens through programs that promote character and leadership, education, healthy lifestyles, and more. For more information, visit foxsportsupports.com.
Oh, look at that.
Look at the sunglasses.
He got better moves than you and I, Rich.
Oh, without question.
Good stuff there.
Yeah, very nice. Freddie Freeman trying to bunt, and he just misses a base hit. Marlins shift was on, and Prado was deep and way off the line. Freeman, Pierzynski, Swisher, Opened the Braves third. Atlanta got both their runs in the second. They sent 8 men to the plate. A couple of walks by Tom Kohler, one of them intentional. And he gave up 3 hits. Freeman's season interrupted a couple times with short trips to the disabled list. Smokes one, and Gordon is there on that right knee, sliding in to make the catch.
Always fun to watch D. Gordon with his quick reactions. Couple of steps down to one knee. Braces himself a little bit.
Now Pierzynski. He doubled down the left field line, and that started the rally in the second.
Haha, good changeup.
It's this time of year where sometimes you glance at the wires looking for news that breaks in baseball. Pierzynski fouls that off. And I stopped at this story, Tommy, and I think for some people it's troubling. Andrew McCutchen says that he plans not to regrow his dreadlocks.
I'm in on that. Don't know if it's pressing news here on this Sunday.
Prado across the diamond, and that's bang bang. Bohr makes the catch. Pierzynski is out. Only way to guarantee access to the All-Star Game in 2017 here at Marlins Park by placing a deposit on 2016 season tickets. You can join the Fish family today by calling 1-877-MARLINS. Go to marlins.com/tickets. McCutchen got his first haircut in 8 years in March and donated the dreadlocks to charity. And now 6 months later says he's sticking with the new hairstyle. Does not want that to be his trademark.
Well, and it certainly didn't affect his play this year. Andrew McCutchen once again will find his name probably in the top 5 or 6 MVP votes.
So that doesn't make the top of your list as breaking news
Not
on this
today. Yeah, not
Sunday
today.
in baseball. All right, I will try to do better.
Let's just search out something maybe a little more riveting. All of a sudden, Tom Kohler has made some good pitches with his changeup here in this inning.
All right, how about this? The Tigers announcing they will bring back Brad Ausmus.
Interesting, because a month or so ago that didn't sound like that would happen.
The Phillies have declined an option for next year on Cliff Lee. Where is Cliff Lee, by the way? I know he's kind of disappeared with the elbow issues resurfacing. In the air. And Dietrich makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning and a nice one from Tom Kohler. Miami, Braves and Marlins. Our weather, 86 outside. The roof is closed, windows shut. Tommy, did you know that tonight is a supermoon eclipse, which is very, very rare? How rare, you ask? There's only been 5 since 1900. And this will be the last one until the year 2033.
So you see that is much more informative than the Andrew McCutchen dreadlock story.
I'm telling you, I'm trying to recover. I'm trying to
good job
regain your trust. Starts a little after 9 o'clock tonight. Tom Kohler swings and misses. All right, some changes. Freddie Freeman has come out of the game. Nick Swisher is now at first base.
Here's a thought. There was a swing first at bat for Freeman where I thought maybe there was some effect on that wrist. Bourne moves over to left, by the way, and Cameron Maben comes in to play center. Well, and then remember, Freeman tried to bunt a couple of times his last AB before lining out to D. Gordon. So it would be a guess that perhaps that wrist is acting up a little bit on Freddie Freeman.
Tom Kohler, 6 hits this year. And he takes a strike 3 call. Can't believe we went through last night's game the whole night with Tom Hallion behind the plate. And I don't remember him getting a called strike 3, which is his trademark signature. He did give that call to Dutch Rennert. There's Hallion.
Well, Marlins pitching in the game last night had just 1 strikeout.
D. Gordon singled in the first, and Miller misses away. 195 hits for Gordon.
Take it back. 2 strikeouts last night for Marlins pitching. Brian Morris, Jose Urena. The Braves totaled, and their pitching staff, 4 strikeouts.
Oh, look out. You can see Gordon and his reaction. They're human, these players. And when a ball goes into the seats at that speed, it shakes people up. And that's why you go to every player in every clubhouse and ask them if Major League Baseball should extend the netting down the baselines, and they would say absolutely, do it now.
Well, we saw the reaction of D the other night on a foul ball that he didn't hit, but he saw when he went over and talked to the elderly woman who was hit by the foul ball, and then ended up next inning giving her an autographed bat.
Yeah, Gordon was actually in the field and took it upon himself before going to the dugout to head back down to left field to check on that woman, and then, as you pointed out, showered her with gifts the rest of the night. Counts 2-2. Gordon swings, hits a fly ball to right. Markakis is there and makes the catch. Against the Phillies, Gordon was at second base when a ball was hit down the left field line by Odubel Herrera. Elderly woman took that one off the head. Gordon, before going to the dugout, checked on her.
She gave him a thumbs up.
The girl behind the lady lost her mind when Gordon brought the autograph bat, but he wasn't done. He ended up bringing some cleats. She gave the bat to the girl, and so he brought her a jersey and some cleats. I think it's obviously it's cool that Gordon went out of his way, was so concerned. The woman, though, hit by the ball, got the bat. She saw how impressed the young woman was behind her, and she gave it to the young girl.
Pay it forward.
Yelich is up. Here's the 0-2. Yelich drives it to right. That's hit well. Back goes Markakis. It's over his head, off the wall. Yelich to second with a double. His 26th.
2 times up, 2 well-hit balls. One was a short hop ground ball to shortstop his first time up, but Christian Yelich today on the screws has hit 2 balls as hard as you can. This one got over the head of Markakis in a hurry. Stays on it, able to turn on that pitch a little bit.
Now Martin Prado with 2 outs. 2-2 ball game here in the bottom of the 3rd. Yelich continues his climb that started in late May when he bottomed out under 200 after starting the season with that sore back. Prado into right center. That's a hit, and it chases home Yelich. Prado around first. An RBI single for the Marlins leader.
You start piecing together the whys. Why have the Marlins played so well in the month of September? Let's go through Yelich. Christian Yelich first, hitting over 350 just about for the month. Martin Prado probably close to 370 with that base hit over the last 26, 27 games. We've talked about what Justin Bour has done. Well, that middle of the lineup has really come through.
And here is Bour again with a runner at first. And he has a ground ball up the middle. Simmons gets it, gets to the bag. Inning over, but Miami nudges back in front. It's 3-2. And the ball that he hit up above the Marlins dugout. Gordon handing a bat to the youngster who was hit by the ball. The youngster is fine, and that's good. And with more on that, let's go down to Craig Minervini. Craig?
Rich, thank you very much. I'm with our general manager, Steve Tello. It's hard to believe, Steve, that this season has flown by like this. Baseball's a funny thing, but I know you wanted to come on and say hello.
Well, I just wanted to thank you and the crew and all the folks who work very hard every game during the season to get these games on. Really great baseball. It's a great park. Had a good season. Anticipate a much better season next year. But we made good TV, and that's what counted. We we thank everybody, John and the crew in the truck, all of you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. We had a nice moments here, especially of late. And you have a bunch of Marlin friends and Fox Sports Florida friends.
We got some friends here. Hello, everybody, the Marlins.
This gentleman's not making any noise over here.
Yeah, there he is. Mr. Nick, he was out late last night. So,
That's a shock. That is a shocking note there. But for the Marlins and Fox Sports Florida, and you got the Panthers coming up, obviously, not to mention in the wider family, Heat, Magic, it's a busy season.
It's a busy season. We're starting the fall and winter sports now, so we're in full court press, both 2 basketball teams and 2 hockey teams. But, again, we want to thank the Marlins organization and all of you that put these things on.
All right, thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
All right, guys, you got any questions? Is there a chance to one-on-one there? Rich, Tommy?
Put in a good word for us.
We'll put a good word.
I won't answer any of Tommy's questions.
What was that about the race? What? They'll do it privately, you said. All right. Back to you guys.
Citello, a very good boss. That one into left field, a base hit by Andrelton Simmons. We are blessed, Tommy Hutton. People that we work for and the people that we work with are all very creative, fun, and allow us to do what we do.
Yeah, they do, and you're absolutely right. The people here on site are certainly our crack staff who we have fun with all year, and the people behind the scenes.
Tom Kohler giving up a hit to Andrelton Simmons after getting the first out here in the 4th. Gets Michael Bourne, who looks like he's reborn right now. He's 5 for 8 in this series. Had a 2-run single in the 2nd. There was a time where Bourne, in his tenure, certainly in Atlanta, was a really nice leadoff man, defensive stopper, so to speak, in center field.
He was one of the better leadoff hitters in the league, without question.
2011, 2012 in Atlanta, he was an all-star.
A couple of Gold Gloves.
He was on base. He was up in the 370s. Swiped a bunch of bases.
Led the National League 3 different times in stolen bases.
He is signed through next year. He's owed $14 million next year. He and Swisher, of course, coming from Cleveland. Kind of the exchange of contracts. Chris Johnson going the other direction. Simmons dives back in.
You know, Bourne was in that deal. It certainly worked out good for the Philadelphia Phillies when they sent him to Houston and acquired Brad Lidge, who was such a key part of their World Series year.
Bo Porter, former Astros manager, flashing the signs at 3rd. And he walks. A couple walks down in that part of the order, and one in the 2nd was costly to Kohler. Here comes Shelby Miller. He'll probably be bunting. Looking for a strong fan photo? Tweet us your strongest fan photo. Hashtag it FL Data Strong Fan. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. We'll use it on an upcoming telecast if it passes muster. What does that mean, by the way? Passing. I know what passing the mustard is about, but
maybe that's where it came from. By the way, the walk to Bourne, and you brought up the point that Miller's coming up. He's going to be sacrificing. Dropped down a nice sacrifice bunt in the 2nd inning. The tough part about it, and obviously Tom Kohler didn't want to walk him, is that you know that you're going to have to face Markakis unless for some reason Shelby Miller bunts into a double play.
Marlins walked Markakis intentionally last time up. He singled in the 1st.
To be honest, the way Tom Kohler pitched to Oliveira. If Miller drops down the bunt, they may do the same thing. Walk Markakis, load the bases, because he handled Oliveira pretty well.
Struck him out in the second and bounced into a double play in the first. Runners go. It's popped up, caught by Bohr, and it's a double play. Incredible. No worries. I'm not sure what was going on there. Andrelton Simmons was breaking with the pitch coming to the plate. Miller popped the bunt up, and just like that, the Braves were dead. As in dead in the water, as in dead in the fourth inning. Bourne was not running at first, and that's a telltale sign. The other part of this, watch Martin Prado. He slipped trying to get back to third, and of course, all was good. And the Marlins get a double play.
You know, it's all good.
How about that? 3-2 Miami. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Marlins may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Marlins, and this telecast must pass muster by our boss Steve Tello.
And we found out what that means.
It's a military term. It has to do with passing the exam, or passing muster, to make sure that your uniform is clean, trim, buttons are polished, shoes are good.
Everything in order.
An inspection, so to speak. For those of you ex-Marines out there, I'm sure you had to do that a lot. My father, a Marine, at a very young age, taught us boys.
You had to pass muster, I'm sure, at the house.
How to make the bed so you could bounce like a quarter on it, and it. Two to Ozuna. Foul tip. The count stays at 0-2. What's at stake here for the Marlins? They'd love to stay on a roll. Miami has the best record in baseball since the 31st of August. As well, they'd like to win their 5th straight game. Pitch is out. The Marlins have won 7 of their last 8 series.
And also, we talked about it earlier, they've climbed quite a ways to get to 500 right now, 40-40 at home. They'd like to finish over 500 at home.
As well, in talking to Dan Jennings, they would love to get into the 70-win column. They're at 68 wins right now. 3 games in St. Pete, and 3 games in Philly. So if the Marlins keep playing well, there's a chance that they finish 72, 73, 74 wins. Ozuna cracks that one to Oliveira. Swisher off the bag, catching tag. Ozuna's out. Next telecast is actually on Wednesday night. Tuesday night, there's no television. Marlins TV on Fox Sports Florida. But you can watch Tuesday night's game on Sun Sports and enjoy Dwayne Statson, Brian Anderson, and Todd Callis. We'll be there on Wednesday at 6:30 with Marlins Live, Craig Minervini and Carl Pavano. And a Jared Cozart start. That brings Miller towards the bag, and a flip to Swisher secures the out.
Yeah, I was just looking ahead with the Marlins finishing on the road this year in St. Pete and then on to Philadelphia. Next year, the Marlins finish the season, have a 3-game series in Washington, D.C.
Real Muto now.
And that follows a nice 10-game homestand leading up to that series.
JT bounced back to the mound in the second. Shelby Miller has had a really unique year, as we've talked about. 5-16 with an ERA right at 3 coming in.
He made the All-Star team. He actually began the season 5-1 at one point. Probably go over 200 innings. And this is his 32nd start. Those last 23 games, incredible.
Out to short. Simmons gets the out. Real Muto down. Miami up though. 3-2. Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers. Visit your South Florida Chevy dealers today. By Checkers, Epic Meals, Epic Deals. And by the Florida Department of Transportation, reminding you, drive sober or get pulled over. (3-2) Miami on top of Atlanta. It's the 5th. Beautiful Sunday here in South Florida, and Tom Kohler with a 1-run lead. Top of the order, Nick Markakis, Hector Olivera.
And right now, Tom Kohler has that pitch count at 60. Helped himself last inning with a nice inning, and that popped up bunt, the double play, really helped.
Cameron Maybin, remember, came in the ball game when Freddie Freeman went out, and Maybin in the 3 spot. Gordon backhands and gets the out. That was quick. 1 out here in the 5th. And Oliveira comes up. Marlins have an off day tomorrow. They will travel to St. Pete. That Tuesday night game is on Sun Sports, so you can watch it. Rays television, they do a fine job. Dwayne Stats, Brian Anderson. There you go on Tuesday. It's an Adam Conley start. We will make sure that the Rays announcers get the Adam Conley scouting report. That one hit well, left center and deep, and Dietrich won't get it. Off the wall it goes. Oliveira pulls in with a double.
Now, we talked about Tom Kohler having handled Hector Oliveira a couple of times with hard stuff. That time he got the curveball. He got it out over the plate a little bit. So Oliveira has demonstrated he can hit that pitch.
Here's Maybin now.
Now, we talked about it, Rich, earlier. Tom Kohler making his 30th start today. Second time, back-to-back years. 30 or more starts. Going back in Marlins history, Dontrell Willis and Ricky Nolasco had 44 seasons of 30 or more starts. Carl Pavano had a couple. 03 and 04.
Up the middle, Maybin into center field. Round third is Oliveira. Up with the ball is Yelich. He has no shot at home. And so the Braves tie the game. Maybin, his first at bat.
Yeah, it didn't take Cameron Maybin long to have an effect on this game. High fastball. He stays on top, goes right back up the middle. You know, the most starts in a season by a Marlins pitcher. Got to go back to the inaugural season, 1993. Charlie Huff had 34 starts at the ripe old age of 45.
Of course, with the knuckleballers, they're never really as much concerned with pitch count. Tom Candiotti, Tim Wakefield. Maybin, good speed at first. Kohler's move, that was close. Maybin sort of spun his wheels getting back. Ball and a strike. Warming up in the Marlins cage. They're
Never know when you might need a pinch hitter.
He's got a good eye. This is, you know, sabermetrics has gone all the way down to that level, Hut. He worked to walk.
It's taken it to another level when kids in T-ball are trying to draw a walk.
Well, look, one pitch nearly hit him and the other was a foot outside. You've got to encourage that type of plate discipline, Tommy. That's going to take Rojas to the bag, out there, flip to first, out there, and it's a double play. But the Braves get a run, and halfway through in Miami, it's 3-3. Bottom 5, it's Shelby Miller against Tom Kohler. Geico, this Marlin moment, 2006. Anibal Sanchez beat the Reds, 10th win. 4 Marlin rookies won 10 games. That's a major league first. Scott Olson, Josh Johnson, and Ricky Nolasco. As well, that team, I believe, were the first in major league history to fall 20 games under 500 and then get to 500 in that season. Miguel Rojas. Tom Kohler, D. Gordon against Shelby Miller.
We talked about it early on, Rich, how Shelby Miller attacks hitters, goes right after hitters. He's done that today. And a guy who, over this season, we've talked about, was acquired by the Braves for Jason Hayward, St. Louis.
Yeah, the big piece coming back is a starting pitcher that you would imagine will be part of Atlanta's staff for some time. And with Julio Teheran, they hope that those are 2 guys they can build around as they rebuild, so to speak, and retool. This is a transition year in 2015.
Those are 2 guys, if you look at it, and I hate to put people in categories, number 1s, number 2s. They're terrific pitchers. I don't know if you're going to classify either as an ace, but they're both solid number 2 pitchers in anybody's rotation.
Kohler's bunt is popped foul and out of play. Now this is something the Marlin pitchers have done really well, and that is sacrifice bunts. Last week we had that stat that the Marlins pitching staff leads the National League not only in number of sacrifice bunts, but in best percentage of sacrifice bunts. In a spot like this, getting it down, they were right at 50%.
And it certainly made Brett Butler proud.
Kohler sets it down. Miller thought about second, goes to first. And for Tom Kohler, yet again, another nice sacrifice bunt. That's his 12th of the season. It's coming. The Jack McKeon Celebrity Golf Classic, 3rd annual. Crandon Golf at Key Biscayne on Wednesday, February 17th. Marlin players, coaches, other celebrities will be there. An exciting day of golf. 1-877-MARLINS. Go to marlins.com/golf or email foundation@marlins.com.
Beautiful golf course. You kind of negotiate your way around some iguanas at times.
How do you do that? You do it
carefully
by negotiating directly with the iguanas?
You make sure, I was going to say, you make sure you hit your ball in the fairway, but they can be found in the fairway as well.
Or do you have to do it with their agent? Now Gordon is 1 for 2 with a stolen base. So he's at 55 stolen bases, 2 shy of Billy Hamilton. Miller trying to catch that corner, misses, and it's 2-0. Bryce Harper, the guy that Gordon is chasing in the batting race. Harper is 0 for 2 and sits at 337. Gordon at 332 on a 1 for 2 day so far. There's your diameter. Bouncer, Swisher, long way from home. Miller gets the out. Oh, wait a minute, he missed. He missed the bag. He's safe.
You know, he came off the mound and got over there so fast. I mean, I was amazed how quickly Miller got off the mound. Remember, Ryan Weber was a little late the other night on an infield base hit. So he gets over there and makes himself go so hard that he actually misses the bag. And he knew it. He missed it by quite a bit. So because of that, he made a quick turn, put the brakes on, And you knew Rojas was going from second to third.
But you're right, he was flying. So here's Yelich with runners at the corners. Yelich, a hard ground ball out and a double. It's going to go as an error on Shelby Miller. So E1, no hit for Gordon. That right side open for Yelich. Of course, the middle infield is hoping for a ground ball their way. Runner goes. Gordon is off. The throw by Pierzynski is not in time. Number 56. He is one shy of the National League lead.
Each time this afternoon, great jumps and acceleration. Pierzynski on each of the stolen bases has done everything he could. He's come up and made perfect throws, just not quite in time.
Well, that changes the Yelich at bat. With one out, now runners second and third, but the count 0-2. Infield back, ground ball produces a run if it gets by the mound.
Boy, Lenny Harris in the Marlins third base coach's box had a scatter on that line drive. Lenny showing a good first step.
It's hard because with runners at second and third, and second especially, a third base coach can't get down past third, down towards the outfield. He has to stick close where he can wave the guy in.
About a tip of the cap to Lenny Harris this year, who had never, other than in rookie ball, coached at third base. And when he was called on to move into that position, a couple of times we've questioned him, but I think overall he's done a really nice job there.
Also serves as the assistant hitting coach, working with Frank Menechino. Yelich has worked the count back to 2-2. Soft line drive, and Simmons has got it. And that's a big out for Shelby Miller.
Again, though, Christian Yelich hitting a ball pretty well. And unfortunately, Simmons was there for the grab.
So Martin Prado, who delivered a 2-out RBI single his last at bat, climbs in. Rojas at third, Gordon at second. Prado line drive left field, falls for a hit. Gordon around in third, on his way home. Bourne's throw is cut. Prado delivers again.
And the Atlanta Braves know that all too well. Martin Prado comes through again. 61 RBIs now on the year, 3 today. Couple of huge base hits. Mistake pitch by Miller, fastball up. Martin just hammered.
What a September for Prado. Now Bohr, who is a 2-run homer. Breaking ball for a strike.
All 5 runs today by the Marlins have come with 2 out. Another little thing we talked about in this month of September. Some big 2-out base hits. We've seen a lot of them.
Miller chases Prado back. 2 stolen bases for D. Gordon. Prado checking on that left wrist. Bourne lifts one to left. Bourne in, makes the catch. But Martin Prado puts Miami back on top. 5-3. Fox Sports Florida and your favorite Marlins telecast all season long on Instagram and Twitter at Fox Marlins. Final home game for Miami in 2015, a 6-game road trip takes them to see the Rays and the Phils. Nick Swisher, Jace Peterson, Andrelton Simmons for the Atlanta Braves. Miami a 5-3 lead. And this is an opportunity here for Tom Kohler. His ball club has regained the lead. Swisher's 0 for 2. Kohler making his team high 30th start.
Talked about it when we opened up the telecast today, and I know it's one of the things Tom Kohler is proud of, the fact that he takes the ball all the time. He mentioned 30 starts in 2 consecutive years coming up through the minor league system with the Marlins. Never spent time on the disabled list, so always took the ball.
Oh, wow.
They have visited Tutti the Fruity today.
A baseball birthday party. Somebody turned 13.
Now, Rich, if when you were a kid, someone came up to you and said, "Hey, we're going to have your birthday party at the Clevelander."
I thought you were going to say at a Major League Baseball game.
Well, at a Major League Baseball game, but at the Clevelander.
I'd say, Mom, I'm all in. Can I take pictures?
Here's who do we get to invite?
Yes. Count 2-2. Our Toyota trend, final home Toyota trend, Tommy. 60 players for the Braves this year. And that blasts right by their previous record, which was 50. 39 players they used last year. And Kohler, a leadoff walk. He loses Swisher after getting out in front. Jace Peterson, Andrelton Simmons also due up. Maybe the game that everybody's watching in terms of movers, shakers in both the West in the American League and the wild card. Texas in Houston, the Rangers playing the Astros, and it's 1-0 Texas, bottom second. The Angels got some great news and some not so great news last night.
Yeah.
I hope all of you out there have seen the catch by Mike Trout. If not, on your tablet or your laptop, go to MLB.com and take a look at it. Trout climbed the wall, got a foothold in the wall, and robbed a homer last night against Seattle. That's a fair ball. Bohr has an out. The throw to second. In a rundown now. And the tag, that's a double play. Good heads up by Bohr, not to panic. Pick the ball up. And then gets the double play.
Marlins have turned 4 double plays today. They've all been very unique. And this one just add to the list. Good pick by Justin Bohr, who alertly, because he's right on the bag, tags the bag. Then it takes away the force out. Give a little credit to Swisher. He realized that, tried to get in a rundown. And then how about the job of Miguel Rojas to just chase him back, eliminate a throw. Yeah, the Angels got a walk-off home run from David Freese. Then they also found out their closer,
Houston Street,
got injured. Houston Street,
a groin injury, and it sounds like he's out for the rest of the season and possibly the postseason.
So it's kind of an up and down night for the Angels.
And I believe Joe Smith, who has also done some closing, he's in trouble. That one almost got Kohler. As Simmons lines it into center field, Kohler fortunate to get down and get out of the way.
Sometimes I don't know how pitchers react this quickly. Remember, it's 60 feet 6 inches, but after the ball's delivered, pitcher's a lot closer than that.
And watch full speed.
Oof. Thank goodness. Nice little somersault as well.
96.2 miles an hour off the bat. Kohler now works on Michael Bourne, who's been a tough out in this series for anybody in a Marlin uniform standing on the mound. He's got 5 hits in 8 at bats, a 2-run single and a walk today. Yeah, in the West, in the American League, Houston is 3.5 back. In the wild card, their lead in the wild card is down to half a game. The Angels right behind Houston. Minnesota's a 1.5 games back. Of course, the Yankees have that first wild card.
The Mets had good news last night. The Dodgers were beaten on a walk-off home run by Carlos Gonzalez. They're looking at their records for home field advantage. Nicely done.
How about that for Bohr? He got another one. He whips it across to Prado. 5-3 Fish. Catch by Mike Trout, and we figured, you know what, let's just show it. Andrew Heaney's on the mound, and watch this. That was last night, and that would have been a 3-run homer. Rand-eye vision cam. How about that? Of course, a walk-off win. Andrew Heaney liked it. Heaney went 6 innings. He was dueling with Felix Hernandez at that point. The Angels a half game back in the wild card. In this one, the Marlins looking for their 5th straight win. Looking for win number 69. There are 6 games left after this one. Facing Shelby Miller. Zuna fouls it back out of play. Marcel's popped out, bounced out. Got Derek Dietrich, JT Realmuto. Marlins have actually been out hit in this ball game. Braves have 8 hits. Miami has 5. That's what a 2-run Justin Bour homer will do for you. And a pair of 2-out RBI singles by Martin Prado. Bour's blast hit the foul pole after further review, and it was reviewed. It hit way up at almost at the top of the foul pole in right field. It was a crew chief review. New York ruled that it hit the pole. Ozuna into center field. That's a hit. The birthday party's going well. Looks like some pool time along with the birthday cake. Maybe a strong fan photo will come there. FL Data Strong Fan is the hashtag. Steve, Tommy Steve is one of the more ardent Marlin fans. He wears those glasses a lot, the goofy Marlin baseball glasses.
That's a good grip, but it's more of a golf grip on that bat. We'll have to work with Steve on that.
Here's Derek Dietrich.
You know, we had all those nicknames for Justin Bour a few Tuesdays ago. People still email and tweet us on that. I still like it. And I know he kind of poo-pooed it with Jessica when she asked him. I still like the Borbino. Dietrich center,
makes the catch. Ozuna's tagging and running and getting to second. Very good heads up and hustle by Ozuna.
Yes, it is. You have to sum that up right away. And Marcell Ozuna did. Once he saw Maven going back, he knew he was going to be deep enough. He plays center field. He knows how deep it is out there. Watch his reaction. There's the fly ball. Once he realizes it's going to be caught, he goes back, and he has the play all in front of him. A good job by Marcell Ozuna.
Real Muto, an 0 for 2. Rojas on deck. A lot of superlatives in the month of September up and down the lineup for Real Muto. Last 20 games, an average about 335. Pulls that one wide of third. Starting today, Rich, is 112th game. That's what it looks like when you're a fan of the Clevelander and you've had enough birthday cake or beverage of choice. You can wander over to the window and watch the opposing bullpen. See all the balloon hats. I may be mistaken, Tommy, but to me that has the fingerprints of our friend Tutti Frutti, Jeff Conine's favorite clown.
Yeah, the kids with those balloon hats had to go see Tootie.
Miller gets strike 2.
Like to have Tootie come up to the booth and make us a couple of hats like that.
I would say the pre and post game set in center field probably a better destination for him. Real Muto, a rifle shot to left. Ozuna scores. And it's 6-3.
How about a destination for that on a line drive off the bat at JT Real Muto. Double number 19 on the year. Boy, he battled, got a good pitch to hit. Fastball kind of moved in on him. Quickness with his hands. You know, all of a sudden you start looking at the numbers of JT, and we've made a lot of comparisons where he stands amongst rookies. Then you go, okay, how about amongst rookie catchers? And then how about just amongst catchers, period? He's had that kind of year.
Kendall Toyota called to the bullpen. Shelby Miller out.
during the pitching change, Rojas went back to the dugout, sat on the rail, and was in deep conversation with who else? Martin Prado. This is about a minute-and-a-half conversation, Prado and Rojas. And we tell you what type of a leader and influence Prado is and has been, especially from the midpoint of the season on. And there's a great example of it. Peter Moylan in the ball game.
Well, I remember, Rich, going back to spring training, something Freddie Gonzalez told me about Martin Prado when the Braves were in Jupiter.
Runner goes. And safe at third is Real Muto. He can run, too.
There's another little something that JT will add to the list. His 8th stolen base this year. Got a great jump off Moylan. No shot for Pierzynski.
Now the infield's in, and it changes the at-bat certainly for Rojas. Little tapper to third. Real Muto comes home, and he scores.
That's why you go on contact when that infield comes in. Puts a little pressure on the infield. That time Oliveira tried to rush it and bobbled.
It will be an RBI for Rojas. An error on Oliveira.
You know, every once in a while, we saw it the other night, an infielder will pick a ball, make a good play to the plate. But the reason you do that, you put pressure on that infielder. He has to make a good throw. He has to field the ball. In this case, Oliveira booted it.
Now Kohler with one out can bunt here. Bunting against Moylan, the Submariner sidewinder. Not all that easy.
But to get back to my conversation with Freddie Gonzalez about Martin Prado, and I said to Freddie, I said, boy, it has to be great to have a guy like Prado on your team. This was back in spring training. I said, you don't have to worry about it. He comes and does his job. Freddie said, not only do you not have to worry about him, you don't have to worry about 6 or 7 other guys that he'll take care of. And we saw a great indication of that in his conversation with Miguel Rojas.
Kohler misses on the bunt. And they count 1-2. So 7-3. Marlins a couple runs here.
Tom Kohler at 86 pitches. Dan Jennings certainly wants to try to get one more inning out of TK.
The scoring decision on the Rojas ground ball, fielder's choice, E5. Right now, no RBI credited. So that might change. Peter Moylan's on his way out. 7-3. Miami on top. This is a Kendall Toyota call to the pen. Continues to be your home for postseason action, American League Division and Championship Series. Don't miss a moment. The history and the drama, and all begins on October 8th on FS1. It streams live on Fox Sports Go. Here in Miami, 7-3. Marlins on top. Second reliever to work in the inning.
Interesting. Freddie Gonzalez brings a righty in to face Tom Kohler, and then brings another righty in with the lefties coming up. With that sidearm delivery of Moylan, he probably feels more comfortable with Barawa. What an interesting move. I guess the thought would be, why not Barawa just to come in and face Kohler too?
Barawa chasing Rojas back, who has the pancake flipper glove on. That left hand that helps keep your fingers intact if you do slide head first. The one danger with that glove is if on a head first slide you're trying to hang on to the bag with your left hand.
You can't.
But it certainly saves the wear and tear for sure. Gordon lifts it left field. Bourne there, and he makes the catch. And so Miami done in the sixth, but not before they add two more and lead it 7-3. In Miami, Modelo Especial presents a watch party coming up on Wednesday the 30th in Doral at the Carolina Ale House. Marlins and Rays, 7:10 start. Autographed memorabilia, raffle prizes. Billy the Marlin, the Energy team will be there. Tommy, take advantage of specials on Modelo Especial throughout the game. Marlins make a defensive change. Ichiro is now in left field. And the fastball to Daniel Castro's hitting for the Braves is up and in. Castro's pop has bore down the line, and that's a little too far to reach. Braves pen. That is Dan Winkler.
For the Braves today, Rich, a couple of errors. Of course, one of those by Shelby Miller. So in his 5 1/3, 7 hits, 7 runs, 4 earned runs.
Diving stop. Prado on his knee. Oh, Justin Bour. What a play on both ends. How about that?
That's right. Unbelievable. Because the throw was high after this tremendous pick, Justin Bour steps on the other side so he can get the throw, keeps his foot on the bag, gets upended a little bit by Castro, and then shows us a nice acrobatic move.
Wow. A nice dismount as well with the back roll flip. All right, full speed.
And Justin Bour, fortunate that he came out of that okay with his foot on the bag and Castro sliding in. That could have been some problems there, but that's just great.
Kohler gets strike to Nick Markakis, who's 1 for 2. He singled and bounced out.
I like the way Prado unloaded the throw from his knees. He knew he didn't have time to get up and make that throw.
A walk to Markakis. This has been somewhat of a battle for Tom Kohler.
This is the one area, if Tom Kohler is going to look at his year and say, okay, this is where I want to step it up and improve a little bit more, it's to keep the walks down. 5 walks today, 1 of them intentional. But you come to this situation with a 4-run lead, you've got to minimize that and got to go right after the hitters.
Oliveira bangs one over Rojas's head into the gap. Yelich cuts it off. Oliveira around first, and he's got another double, his 2nd of the game, and Markakis resides at 3rd.
And because of the 1-out walk, it kind of compounds the 2-base hit now by Oliveira. In fact, this slider just kind of stayed right there. Nice visit to the mound by JT Realmuto to tell Tom Kohler, all right, this is your inning. Get through this inning.
Cameron Maben came in for Freddie Freeman after the 3rd. Maben takes a strike. Maben banged a single into center to drive home a run in the 5th. Brad Hand is up in Miami's bullpen. Prado again. This time Bour didn't have to go up and do the backflip. It does chase home a run. Oliveira stays at 2nd. Markakis scores. Coors Light cold hard fact. Fielding percentage at home. The Marlins just 34 errors at home You saw last year and the year previous, both were very good at home defensively.
After making a good pitch to get Cameron Maben, unfortunately Tom Kohler's not going to get a chance to make any more.
Pierzynski waiting. Miami goes to Brad Hand as Kendall Toyota called to the pen. There are 2 outs with a run across here in the 7th. And Brad Hand out of the bullpen.
Yeah, it's been over a week since Brad has appeared in game. Last time was a start against the Nationals. So working here in relief, trying to pick things up and get out of this 7th inning.
Pierzynski has doubled and bounced out twice. Hector Olivera is still at second. Hand's fastball misses in. Ball and a strike. He's out front 1-2. Yankees lead the White Sox 3-0. Blue Jays are behind the Rays 4-3. That Yankee game in the 6th. Jays at home down 4-3 to Tampa Bay in the 8th. Minnesota's beating Detroit. That's good for the Twins. They try to hang in there in the American League wild card. Got him. Brad Hand strikes out Pierzynski. Braves get a run, and that's it. 7th inning stretch arrives, and it's 7-4 Marlins. and gone. Final home game for the Fish in 2015. Last night, we were talking about teams clinching. The Dodgers can actually clinch today with a win or a Giants loss. This the Mets last night. Hut, were you ever involved in a Champagne clubhouse?
Oh, yeah. In 77, 76, making the playoffs, and then getting beaten by Cincinnati. 77, losing to the Dodgers in the playoffs. Yeah.
Those teams have
bittersweet. Had to be a nice feeling for David Wright, by the way.
Without a doubt. Those are the teams that have clinched. New York, St. Louis, Pittsburgh. And the Cubs, as I said, if you're the Dodgers, you just need either a win or a Giants loss the rest of the way. And the Dodgers clinch. Home field in the division series between the Mets and the Dodgers is still in the balance. Hut, do you have a team on the board there that you like? Or do you wait a week?
I kind of want to wait to see who they match up against.
If Pittsburgh gets out of the wild card game, that's a team that I think is playing quite well and is hot right now.
Because they've been trying to do that, to get out of that wild card game. So, you know, the matchup in the Central is going to be very interesting, whether it's Cardinals and Pirates or Cardinals and Cubs.
Dan Winkler, who just made his Major League debut, in right now for the Braves. Yelich will be his first hitter. Winkler was a Rule 5 draft from Colorado in December. He had Tommy John surgery last year. And so the Braves, in knowing that, made him a Rule 5 pick. And since he was on the 60-day DL, he comes off the DL in September. Pitched on Monday in New York against the Mets. A 1-for-3 day for Christian Yelich. Double. And his 2 outs have been hard hit as well.
Yeah, 3 really nice at bats.
Got Prado and Bohr also due up. Yelich off the glove of Swisher, and that's enough to get it to Peterson, with Winkler covering. Another well hit ball and nothing to show on that one.
A little bit of frustration today for Christian Yelich with the way he's swung the bat.
3-4-1 on the putout.
Yep, off the glove, heads up play by Peterson, and nice job by Winkler getting over to cover.
Martin Prado has been terrific today. Twice he's come to the plate in innings where the Marlins have had runners in scoring position, haven't gotten those runners home, and Prado arrives with 2 outs, and both times he's delivered. Drove in 1 in the 3rd and 2 in the 5th. Lifts it in the air to right. Markakis on patrol.
Speaking of teams going to postseason, playoff teams, did you read a couple of the quotes by Bryce Harper about who he's going to be rooting for? Bryce Harper said, I'm going to be rooting for the Mets. They're in my league. They're in my division. They played very well this year. I'm going to root for the Mets.
Now Bohr. You don't always hear that in very candid response, but I mean, logically, a team that eliminates you, you want them to go as far as possible, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're a National League team, you're certainly rooting for the National League. You should. If it's a team that you've been competing with in your division, you might not like them,
to left and deep. Bourne is back and it's gone. He hit another. Opposite field. Justin Bourne. His 4th of the series, his 2nd of the day. And his 23rd of the season.
71 RBIs now. Oppo power. He certainly has that in that swing. He doesn't have to pull a ball. Look at the hands. The pitch is up, and he launches it.
A September to remember, 9 home runs in the month. And a 2-homer day here. Ozuna opposite field. That is deep. That is gone. My goodness. And folks, this is a big ballpark. Maybe the biggest in baseball. And you just saw 2 strong men leave in opposite directions.
You have to have big man power to go opposite field in this ballpark. What a series for Marcell Ozuna. 6 for 13 in this series. Boy, just a nice look how he comes up, stays on the pitch that's up, probably out of the zone a little bit. All of a sudden, Marcell Ozuna, since his return from his stint in AAA, has gotten that average now since that return around 260. I believe also, Rich, the first time this year the Marlins have homered 3 times in a game at home. Done it on the road. Remember the Phillies, we talked about it the other night. Phillies have hit 3 homers in a game twice against the Marlins here at Marlins Park.
Ichiro's first at bat. And an 0-2 from Winkler. Well, the lead is 9-4. Frank Menechino, who works so hard with the hitters. I can remember a conversation with, all the way back in spring training, talking about Justin Bourne. Menechino said that at the start of spring training, he had a heart-to-heart with Bourne and said, look, you have power, but if you're going to play in the big leagues and be successful, you have to be able to hit the ball to left and to center. And you need to make that change. And Bourne did it. And it showed up when Bourne arrived and wasn't playing regularly and was pinch hitting. And he got some pinch hits, some key ones.
That's how he got himself in the lineup.
And they were to the left side. And that's how he got himself into the lineup. And it's great to see that he's kept that approach. Ichiro's bouncer goes to short. And the inning is over. But the Marlins go back-to-back. Opposite field back-to-back. Justin Bourne, his 2nd of the ball game. And a no-doubter by Marcell Ozuna to right field. 9-4. back-to-back with Marcell Ozuna, both opposite field home runs. And Miami is on top. We check in with Craig Minervini. Craig?
Well, we become big fans. Of course, Tom Gordon used to be from the other side of the diamond, but having a chance to chat with him this year. And Nick Gordon, Dee's brother, is here too. You got a chance to see your brother for the first time after wrapping up your season. And it was a good season for you too. And I know you guys talk a lot of baseball during the year too, huh?
Yes, sir, we do. Pretty much every day. You know, I call and talk to him before the game and after. You know, he kind of tell me stuff that happened in the game, and I tell him stuff that happened in my game, and we kind of just help each other out. So.
We got to the AA Championship Series, done a Game 5. We were in the clubhouse when they were showing highlights, and Dee was saying, boy, my brother was upset about that last out.
Yeah, you know, we play hard. We play pretty good. We ended up losing to the West Michigan Whitecaps in Game 5 of the championship in Cedar Rapids. But, I mean, we play good as a team. Our pitchers went out and gave us their best, and our players went out and done the same thing, you know, and it was a great time.
Nick Switzer goes deep here for Atlanta. The home run parade continues, make it a 9-5 game. Nick, how much do you look up to Dee? We've grown to get to know him a little bit, not only as a player on the field, but off the field. Must be a heck of a big brother for you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You know, I look up to him a lot. You know, everything he tells me, I try to listen. You know, just got to go with him and learn from him because, I mean, he's here. And the year he's having this year, you know, he's learned a lot as well. And things that he learned, you know, he's definitely willing to tell me, and I'm all ears. So
you had a good year too. You hit 277, a big finish down the stretch. Tom, you got two sons here playing. One's going to be in the big league soon. Dee's had a great year. After your great career, it must be pretty neat.
I tell you, it is. It's a dream come true. It's a great feeling to come to the ballpark, watch your kids out there doing what they love to do, and of course, you know, when you play, you want your kids to be out there playing as well. And you know, I just see such excitement on his face, and he's so happy. And you know, the city of Miami has embraced him, and this organization has just loved them. So, you know, we're thrilled. We're thrilled to be here watching them play this game.
Did you ever dream about, the timing didn't work, but being able to play with one of your sons in the majors? It happens for a few people, not many.
I know. I tried as hard as I can to hold on to see if I can, you know, get 1 or 2 more years out of the thing so I could see the D or DeVaris or Nicholas, and you know, of course, you know, my time had ran out. But at the same time, you know, I got a chance now. I get that opportunity when they come home. I throw batting practice to them, and we do a lot of talking. We talk a lot about the game of baseball.
Dee loved basketball too. How much of an influence did you have to have when you said concentrate on baseball? Was it you and your brother too?
Yeah. We, you know, he's always been a wonderful athlete. To watch him go out there to play and go about it as hard as he does, whether it's basketball, baseball, or whatever. You know, he puts all of his heart into it. So, you know, I know eventually if I just kind of stayed in his ear, say, hey, son, don't rule it out, maybe he did, you know, he'd make up his mind and decide whether he wants to just try it and see what happens. But once he got on the ball field, man, he just said, Daddy, you know what, I love it. And, of course, he had to challenge me by asking me if I buy a $500 bat, then he will not cut corners on it and go play hard. And, of course, he did that. So, It worked. It really did.
So, having said that, do you think there's even more room for him to grow? Is it possible because he's still, you know, relatively speaking, new to baseball?
Yeah, you know, and the reason being is because, you know, he didn't play that much baseball at all. So his energy for it, his excitement for it is increasing every day because he wants to learn as much as he can. And he channels all that attention and energy to really working on the game. So there's so much more for him to understand, to learn, and get a grasp of it in this game because, you know, of course, he didn't play Little League. He didn't play Senior League. So that gives him that much more, you know, ambition to be the best he can at his position.
Nick going to be in the big soon. He had a good year this year.
You know what? I think he has a chance once he grows and matures physically because his mental game, his athletic ability to play the game is unreal. He's off the charts.
Hey, good seeing you guys. Thanks a lot, Nick. Great season. Tom Gordon, Flash, great to see you all year.
Always. It's a pleasure.
Right, thanks a lot. Good to have you on. Natural. Television career, maybe?
We'll see. You got a spot for me?
We'll see. Back to you guys.
It's good stuff. And Tom Gordon had a terrific career, a long one in the major leagues. And he's right. Dee Gordon has just been outstanding. And the fans that have seen him or have watched him, they really had a treat this year.
If you did not follow the career of Tom Gordon, you missed a whole lot. Over 20 years in the big leagues. He had years as a starter where he won 17 games. He had a year as a closer with the Red Sox where he saved 46 games. So an extremely versatile major league pitcher. 138 wins, 158 saves.
Adonis Garcia is going to hit in the pitcher spot here in the 8th. Braves getting a home run from Nick Swisher. Brad Hand a walk to Michael Bourne. This is an important stint for Hand in the context. The Marlins bullpen has been used a lot lately with short starts, extra innings. Garcia hits a drive to right center field. That's well hit. Ozuna and Yelich. It's Ozuna who makes the catch. 9-5 Miami. To the bottom of the 8th we go. If you've been following all season long with the MLB.com app Bats, it's the #1 app for live baseball. You're in for a treat in the postseason because you can keep up with all the games, get all the highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts as well, StatCast. It's MLB.com app Bat for your smartphone or your tablet. Aroldis Vizcaíno out of Atlanta's bullpen. JT Realmuto, Miguel Rojas, and in the pitcher spot for Miami. It's a 4-run lead. Realmuto, RBI double, stolen base, a run scored on a 1-for-3 day. If you're just happening by, you have missed 2 more Justin Bour homers. One a towering shot to right off the top of the foul pole. Chris Narveson in the pen. The other a blast to left over the Braves bullpen. Marcell Ozuna has homered as well. Big day for Martin Prado. 2 real clutch hits. 2-out singles both, driving in a total of 3 runs. And so the Marlins just keep on rolling. And it's you know, we've talked about Prado and his influence. Talked to Dan Jennings, talked to a lot of guys in the clubhouse, and there are many factors that weigh into this run. Miami has the best record in baseball since August 31st. But the one guy they point to is Prado. And it's not just what he's done with the bat, it's what he's done in the clubhouse. It's what he's done with the glove. For a team as fractured as the Marlins were, and at times broken, struggling, Prado has been the guy that has kind of picked up the pieces, rallied the troops, inspired the youngsters. There are nights where the Marlins, after the game, there's a group that will stay in the clubhouse and just sit and talk about the game, and it's always Prado who is leading the discussion.
And you think about it, Rich, as badly as things got at times, it could have been a whole lot worse without a Martin Prado around.
And if you're looking for optimism for 2016, Prado is signed next year, and boy, won't it be fun to see him and some healthy guys around him. I mean, the Marlins are making this run without one of the best players in baseball, in Giancarlo Stanton. They're doing it without the dynamic at any Echeverria. That's smoke. And Real Muto with a quick bat. He's got the good speed. That's a double.
20 doubles now for JT Real Muto. His double in the 6th inning was a fastball that was in. He adjusted to it with his hands and absolutely stung it. This time he got a breaking ball, stayed back. Watch where this pitch is. Here it is. It hangs inside, and he just rips it again. Another thing to look forward to next year. JT Real Muto as your catcher.
See where that pitch was on Fox Tracks, and they, whether it was by design or just the way it happened, they certainly pitched him up. Rojas fouls it back to the screen. Another programming reminder, as tradition here on Fox Sports Florida, at the end of the season, the year-end rollout, which is a montage of video and music and big moments, light moments, outtakes, all of that.
You and I have outtakes?
Yes, many of them. They will be on display next week. Next Sunday, a week from today, when the Marlins finish in Philly, as is tradition. Rojas out in front. Casey McKee is on deck. Some mystery left in this game, and that is who will pitch the 9th. You saw Narveson getting ready. You know, it leads you to believe, watching what we've seen this year, that in about 5-7 years, Martin Prado calls it a career, there's going to be somebody that will knock on his door and say, come manage or come be a part of this organization.
And if he wants to do that, he would have the feeling that he will have many opportunities. But not thinking about it now.
No, plenty of baseball left.
We'll get to see Jose one more time, by the way. I think Jose is going to start one of the games in Tampa.
Vizcaino misses in a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Ross Detweiler, the former National. Shallow right. Peterson drops it. It's not a catch. He did not complete the transfer to his throwing hand. was in the glove for a moment, but when he went to transfer it, it popped out.
Yeah, it really caught him on the heel of the glove. He never had it cleanly. Braves with 3 errors.
Yeah, an error on Peterson. Here's McGee, who provided the Marlins with a big pinch hit last night. McGee, a 2-run single in that 8th inning.
Yeah, Casey jumped on a breaking ball. Was ready for it. Solid line drive. Yeah, that was a big base hit. Drove in 2 runs.
Ball and a strike. Vizcaino out in front, 1-2. As well today, D. Gordon has 2 stolen bases. So he's 1 shy of the National League lead. And strike 3 call.
That's just a pretty nasty pitch right there.
And here is Gordon.
Breaking ball. D would love to get a base hit. We'd love to see him climb a little bit closer to Harper. Bryce Harper 0 for 3 in the Nationals game today against the Phillies so far.
337 right now. Gordon, a little tapper off of Vizcaino's glove, and Gordon is aboard. Now it could easily be scored a hit.
9 times out of 10 when a pitcher touches it like that and has to leap up, it's a base hit.
Bags are loaded. It's a hit.
So the deflection took it away. Nobody else had a play. And D. Gordon with an infield base hit. His 2nd hit today.
The diameter.
196 base hits.
Boy, he hits tough now. He's 2 for 5 in his average. It hasn't budged.
Yeah.
Still 332. Bases filled. Here's Yelich. Christian Yelich is doubled, lined out, and a couple of sharp ground ball outs.
So let's see. D. Gordon will need 4 hits over the next 6 games to get to 200.
And 2 stolen bases over the next 6 games to win the stolen base crown in the National League. Yelich's double in the 3rd is 26th of the season. Really nice to see Yelich follow up last year's numbers with the type of year that he's had. He hit 284 with a 362 on base and a 402 slug with 30 doubles. Swing and a miss. Strikes out. Vizcaino giving up a couple hits and having an error behind him, has punched out 2, and here is Prado again, and guess what? There's 2 outs. And this an inning where the Marlins have runners but haven't scored, and this the 3rd time he's come up in this very situation.
The thing about Yelich too, Rich, nice to see him have this kind of year after the way it all started too.
Back injury and a slow start. Prado takes a breaking ball for a strike.
Yeah, Prado's 3 RBIs today, all coming with 2 out.
Prado to center. Maben has lots of room there. Parks himself and makes the catch. Miami leaves him loaded. To the 9th. The Fish try to finish off a sweep. South Florida Honda dealers. That's a great look on a warm afternoon in Miami. 9-5. Marlins on top. A chance to sweep, a chance to win their 5th straight, a chance to keep the best record in Major League Baseball going since the 31st of August. And it's Chris Narveson who comes out of the bullpen.
Well, things look pretty good for the Marlins to finish their home season over 500, 41-40. And as you mentioned earlier, Rich, it's a nice accomplishment because they've come a long way to get to that. They'll go to 16-8 here in the month of September.
Also in line for the win here is Tom Kohler. This will be win number 11 if the pen can hold it.
That will be a career high. Tom won 10, was 10-10 last year in his 32 starts.
6 2/3 from Kohler. Brad Hand an inning and a third. Narveson against Markakis. So it's Narveson with a 4-run lead, pitching here in the 9th. And this could not have gone better for Dan Jennings. We talked about his bullpen, guys like Mike Dunn, Brian Morris, Kyle Barraclough.
Boy,
A.J. Ramos
gives those guys a couple of days off, with tomorrow being an off day.
Much needed. Now, that being said, oh, look at that. Narveson snaps off a wicked breaking ball for a strike 3 call. Narveson and either McGuff have to uphold their end of the bargain. And so far, Narveson, yeah, it's one of those old-fashioned lefty.
Big curveball.
Oliveira, the Cuban, has doubled twice. He's 2 for 4. That one just missed. D. Gordon. There's 2 outs. Checkers will present Marlins Live postgame, which is right around the bend. Big day for the defense. Big day for Justin Bour. And Bour was part of that defense with that acrobatic catch on the diving stop and throw by Martin Prado.
4 double plays. Marlins have turned today.
If baseball had a Defensive Coordinator of the Year award, I think Perry Hill might be in line for it.
Do they have that in the NFL?
No, they don't. Oh, we told you if they found out, the Nicaraguan fans, that Dennis Martinez was out there, they would go nuts, and they are right now. On the ground, Prado spinning, throwing, ball game. Fitting that Prado should end it like that. Narveson a perfect ninth. And Miami stays hot. The Marlins sweep the Braves. The Fish have won 5 straight, win number 69. And the best record in baseball since the 31st of August. It continues here. And just like all the other wins in that span, a team effort up and down the lineup. Lots of heroes. D. Gordon with his speed, Justin Bour with his power, Martin Prado.
Tom Kohler set the stage.
Real Muto had a couple of doubles. And so add it all up, and Miami on the last day of their home schedule sends the fans home with a win. 9-5 is the final. Kohler the winner. Shelby Miller is now 5-17 with the loss. No save in the ball game.
Players tossing some T-shirts to some fans who were treated today. They were treated on this homestand.
Six games left. Marlins head on the road. 3 with the Rays, 3 with the Phillies. And a flurry of shirts. Right now the players, some of the front office. Showering the fans with shirts. Let's go down below to Craig Minervini.
Justin, it's a long baseball season, but the way you guys are playing, you wish you could extend it a little bit at this point, huh?
Honestly, we're just trying to finish strong. You know, we're playing for each other and just playing good baseball.
You went both ways today. Each one impressive in its own right. You like one better than the other?
Honestly, no. You know, whatever helps team win, I'm happy with that.
On the first one, when you hit down the line, were you concerned at all? Because it was so close, it was hard to see. Did you have a good look at it?
I thought I did, but, you know, you're never sure. Nice. Did you get that on camera or not?
Yeah, we got it. We got it.
You know, I wasn't sure. Replay, fine. Off the bat, I thought it was fair, and then as I was running down the line, I was like, oh, that might hook foul. But, you know, stayed fair for me, thank goodness.
Yeah, early in the year, it seemed like a lot more, no matter whether it's off your bat or zooming it to the other way, we're going foul. But the way things are going, things are falling for you guys now, for yourself and the ball club.
Just playing good baseball. Really, that's all it is. Playing for one another, and, you know, no one felt sorry for us when we were losing games. And, you know, we just kept battling, playing hard, and we're just playing good baseball, you know. And what better way to finish the last, you know, homestand than a sweep like that? Sometimes players can't control opportunity. You can only control what you do. Obviously, the Marlins in the offseason signed Michael Morse to play first base. Maybe you didn't know. No.
What?
No.
Oh, what?
No, Jose.
A bucket?
Not a bucket, yeah.
One more thing. We'll stand up. I wanted to ask you is that you had an opportunity that you've taken advantage of. You had a rough June. What did you do after June, Justin, to adjust your game? You hit 138 in June. Since then, you've hit 275, a lot of homers, RBIs, and looked very comfortable at first base.
I mean, like you said, just making the most of the opportunity. This game, nothing's really given to you for free, so, you know, when I got the opportunity, I wanted to make sure I made the most of it.
You certainly have. Thanks all season. We appreciate it. We'll see you on the road.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Justin Bohr, sorry about the Gatorade, as he got out of the way there. All right, Justin Bohr, he's soft-spoken, but he carries a big bat, guys.
Yes, he does, and he had a terrific series. Bohr in the series ended up 7 for 12, 4 homers, 8 runs driven in a 3-game sweep of the Atlanta Braves. Roof open, fans for the last time lingering. The home schedule done for Miami, and they finish with a 5-game win streak. Marlins Live postgame is coming up.